What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be using Battlefield 2042 as a prime example in today's video. And also, I'm going to be putting the community as the main blame point for why Call of Duty is taking a massive turn in the way that it's going. Obviously, there's a few other things that have been going along with Season 4 Reloaded, along with content that's been added into the game. And it doesn't really blow my mind anymore when I see stuff like this introduced into COD. But again, like I said, it truthfully comes down to us. And I see people complain about it all the time and how they want the direction of Call of Duty to go a specific way and then end up coughing up a bunch of money, further encouraging Activision to keep putting this stuff into our game. But, ladies and gentlemen, before we go ahead and dive deep into the topic of today's video, I do want to mention, if you do enjoy today's commentary, you want to hear some more stuff revolving around Battlefield, Call of Duty, or even X-Defiant, don't forget to go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification button. And last but not least, we do live stream every day besides Sundays over on Kick. If you guys want to check that out, the link to that and all my other socials are down in the description of this video. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, now today's video is hyper-focused around the atmosphere of Call of Duty current day, compared to what we used to have back in the day, and also, like I said, I'm going to be using Battlefield 2042 as a prime example, because, like I said, it really is the best example I could possibly ever give Call of Duty fans, and it's live, real proof on, changes that can happen only if the community wants to take that stand. But for those who don't know, the skins in Call of Duty have become a little outrageous. I'm going to be completely honest, at least for what Call of Duty is supposed to be. Let's be real here. Back in the day, COD was a military arcade shooter. It was supposed to be badass. It was supposed to be, insane. Dare I say, tactical, even though it was an arcade shooter. It just, the military vibes that it always gave off were outstanding. Untouchable almost. It was between Call of Duty and Battlefield. And even when they added in content, like when Black Ops 2 had skins, there was still stuff that didn't really take you so far out of the universe. We had the zombie scene, so some things were a little, realistic if we connected it with zombies, and the military vibes of the campaign and multiplayer still, stood intact. And of course, you have some, funny stuff, like maybe a pizza camo or something of that sort. But, who doesn't want a little goofy here and there? But there's a fine line that you have to, draw there before you go ahead and cross it when it comes to Call of Duty. And they were riding it for a good time in a good way. But they lost their ways, more current date. The stuff that we see, like this, for example, to me personally is just, I'm speechless. You can hear me, I'm speechless. I just don't understand why we have to see stuff like this in COD. Now, is it a bad skin? No, I mean, this could work. This is cool in its own perspective in a different game. But we're talking about COD here, Call of Duty. I mean, we have bunny skins, we got rat skins, we have cat skins now. And they're not like, little, like, no, you are legitimately playing as a cat. You are. You're a real humanoid-like cat. Like, oh my God. It's insane. And I know I might get some hate about this one. That's fine. But the superheroes they're adding also into, the game itself. What is it called? The Boys or something like that? I never actually watched it. I heard it's pretty good. And that's cool. I'm glad it's a good show. But again, the superheroes and their tights and tighty-whities and all that stuff running around the battlegrounds. I mean, you see them all the time. And it never fits naturally. Every single time I see one of those characters, I'm like, okay, that's awkward. In the middle of like a modern day, urban vibe, and I'm seeing superheroes starting to sprint around now. It's crossing the line of what I want in Call of Duty. But I guess my points here and my perspective is definitely of the minority, because there's a reason these are being added in, and that's because people buy it. That's it. And it comes down to the people who also complain about it as well. Like I said in the beginning of this video, there are so many hypocritical people out there who absolutely despise stuff like this, but then will fill their catalog with new content, whether it's, for content for videos, content for streams, or just, for their own catalog because they just love purchasing stuff in-game. Whatever it is, they feed into this, and it continues, and it continues, and it continues, and it basically never ends. If there was no demand, they wouldn't even bother supplying it, right? But apparently, there's a lot of demand when it comes to content like this in Call of Duty. And it leaves me blown away, honestly. We've had some cool, crossovers, like in Ghost, what was it, Michael Myers or something like that in Ghost? Absolutely legendary. That was awesome. You have Ghostface, you have all these cool things. We had Rambo at one point in Black Ops Cold War. There's been some pretty cool crossovers, right? I mean, stuff that you could see in the game. And what about other stuff, maybe like, John Wick, for example? There are tons of collabs that would work perfectly when it comes to Call of Duty. That would be outstanding. I am not in any way, shape, or form telling them that they shouldn't chase after these collabs. No way. I mean, they're pretty awesome. I would enjoy seeing stuff like this. But you have to find the collabs that fit with the atmosphere of what this game is all about. And every single collab that I see in Call of Duty nowadays, and every single bundle I see in COD nowadays as well, further strays away from, what Call of Duty is, a military arcade shooter. And again, I was going to use Battlefield 2042 as an example, and honestly, like I said, I think it's a fantastic one. Battlefield was in the same exact boat. There were tons of leaks coming out that we were about to get the craziest Call of Duty style skins in Battlefield 2042. They partially started to release these crazy type of skins, which they weren't that bad in the beginning. But again, that was like what they were releasing back in the day was the low end of craziness. It was only going to get crazier and crazier and crazier if the leaks were going to come true, and they were slowly coming true. But right when we saw the start of that, we stopped it. We stopped it right then and there. The community fought back. They said, we don't want this type of stuff. We want skins that fit the vibe of the game, and that's what we have gotten ever since. Yeah, I would say this season right here has strayed a little out there when it comes to the vibes that they've been making throughout the other seasons, but it's not bad. Again, you can make flashy skins that aren't cats, that aren't bunnies, that aren't unicorns and rats. Okay, you can make skins that are flashy, that fit the vibes of the game, that people will cough up a lot of money for. Even look at CSGO. There are tons of skins in there that are actually worth a ton of real money that honestly fit the vibes of the game perfectly. And they're flashy, they're completely flashy, but they're nothing like running around as, bunnies and cats. Nothing of that sort. I don't know why Activision can't see this, but again, we fought back, we didn't want it, and Battlefield changed for the better. Of course, we're still in a bad spot right now where, it's US versus Russia, and we have all the same specialists on both sides, so it's just a confusing crap show of, seeing the same person back and forth, back and forth. There's hardly any way of differentiating enemies from teammates besides, the red color on their armor and stuff like that. That's the only way. That sucks, but it can't be resolved now, and I understand that. That's something that we have to pray happens with the next Battlefield game, unless, the new leadership at EA decides that specialists are still the way to go, which, at that point, then we'll be screwed. But, everything else, the skins, great, fantastic, phenomenal. Funny enough, a lot of the skins cover up their faces of the specialists, so you do look like a generic soldier, and they look amazing. They look outstanding. And the only reason that happened, is because the community didn't buy the crap and spoke their minds. Now, the moral of the story here is that if you want to see change in Call of Duty when it comes to these type of skins and the atmosphere of your game, it comes down to you not purchasing these type of skins. Don't do it. Don't spend the money. Don't support it. And speak your mind. If they don't get the cash for it, they simply won't keep creating them. But the problem is, the majority of us, especially you guys watching this video, more than likely don't purchase these skins, which means, like I said earlier, our voices are in the minority. They don't matter. And sadly, if that's the Call of Duty you used to love, Call of Duty 4 up to Black Ops 2, even Ghost, I'd even partially, maybe I shouldn't go to the jetpack era because it was some pretty wild stuff, but honestly, it fit the jetpack era and jetpack games. I don't care if they go crazy because we're in the future. The freaking future. So who cares? But these modern titles and, Black Ops Cold War and, these other, older titles, stuff like that. I don't care if it's a little flashiness here and there, but there has to be a line that we don't cross. And right now we are continuously crossing it. And sadly, I just don't think we're going to be able to get our COD back. I think COD is long gone. I think there is a brand new, huge different audience for Call of Duty that enjoys this stuff. The Fortnite crowd is, I guess, the Call of Duty crowd as well. They're combined. And that's why we keep seeing the skins that we see. But ladies and gentlemen, do me a favor, go down in the comment section and leave your opinions down below. Of course, I love reading them all. I'm very curious to know if you guys do enjoy these type of skins or if you guys hate these type of skins. Again, it depends on the game. If this stuff was in Fortnite, Apex Legends, stuff like that, I don't care. But in Call of Duty, again, there's a bit of, not realism, but just, a level that I want to stay on that I enjoy when it comes to Call of Duty. And again, they keep passing that level and they keep making it harsher and harsher for me and a lot of OG fans to enjoy that experience. But again, leave your opinions down below if you think the skins are cool or if you think they're horrible. But ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like. One was a hate it, leave a dislike. Also, if you're brand new, enjoy the content, over subscribe and that notification button. Also, want to chat with this to do so, I have Twitter and Discord, both linked down in the description. And also want to catch me live streams to video games over on Twitch, link is in the description as well. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in. See you all next one. Peace out.